Hey everyone, Colbert here, and today we're gonna look over Scyl of the Drakes. She's the final character that is available for the daily logins. We don't have any more daily logins, guys. The 180 days have passed. So this was the final reward. So everyone now gets a legendary. Is she good? We're gonna go over her skills, the gear that I've used on her, and the masteries that I have on her, and see her in the campaign, dungeons, maybe arena, and see how she fares in all of those. So guys, first up, just fairly new characters, so not a ton of reviews. I'm not gonna go through those. She's a defensive character, so I have her with a defensive chest. I went all speed, as you can see, because she's a support character. In my opinion, she's not there to do damage. She's there to support every other character and carry you through the dungeon. So if you're a player still playing the game at 180 days and haven't progressed through the dungeons, she's gonna take you to the end of the dungeons for sure. This is what I think of her kit. I have critical rate on the gloves there for that extra bit of damage, but I would guess that a new player that has only this champion as a legendary wouldn't have critical rate gloves. Instead, he would either have defensive gloves or HP gloves, just for that extra bit of tankiness and support that she can provide. And then defense on the chest, as I said before, speed of course on the boots, and then overall just speed on the other items. 3 speed sets to get maximum amount of speed as I can. Overall, my stats are 42k health, 3.6k defense, 236 speed, 79% critical rate, almost 120 critical damage, and 290 accuracy. And that's hugely due to the Great Hall as well, but also because of that 6-star banner. I know not many players are going to have this. If you can imagine having 200 accuracy in combination with accuracy sets instead of all speed sets, then about 200 speed, that's a reasonable request for someone trying to do dungeons 20. So overall defense, critical damage on the amulet, and as I said, banner with accuracy and speed. So overall, she's not totally maxed out by an endgame player. I have said some suggestions for players who are fairly new and reaching that endgame and try to go through the dungeon. So let's go over her skills. Her A1 attacks one enemy, 20% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. Also has a 30% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 15%. This is why I like this skill, and this is why I wanted to go full accuracy on her. So attacks one enemy, it's a single hit attack, so not gonna be like a huge damaging champion, but 20% chance to place that 30% decreased speed debuff, which can be very beneficial against bosses. Also has a 30% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter. This can be helpful. It's only 15%. I would like this to be way higher. If this was 30%, I would much more enjoy using this champion, because 15% seems very low, and this goes up, the chance for both goes up by another 20% if you have her fully booked. I'm gonna look over this champion with no books at all, because this is the ideal choice for a new player. Is she gonna be worth it booking? So I'm gonna go over the dungeons with her without any books on. So attacks all enemies 2 times. Great. Each hit has a 20% chance of placing the stun debuff for 1 turn. So this can go up to 35%, 40% with the masteries, which I do have, and we're gonna look through them in a bit. So guys, 35% chance to place a stun debuff every 3 turns. So with enough speed, over 200 speed, as I said before, she will take a great deal of turns, and the more turns she takes, the more chances she has to apply this stun debuff. But without any books, this 20%, 25% now, it's going to be 25%, then another 25% if you don't get it, or if you do get it, then another 25%. They're going to be stunned again. There's no double stun, but yeah, you know what I mean. The enemies are going to be stunned. This is great for controlling the waves, guys. I'm not sure about its damage, but we'll see once we go in the dungeons. Revives an ally with 50% HP and places a 50% ally protection buff on them for 2 turns. This can be great, very clutch when you have a champion that is very squishy, dies easily. For example, a cold heart. Usually when an early game player uses a cold heart in a dungeon like the Fire Knight dungeon, that cold heart will be targeted first and will usually die. I call this protecting the baby, protecting that cold heart in the Fire Knight to get you to the boss. Once you get the baby, the cold heart to the boss, she's gonna take down the boss eventually, and assuming that you have close to maybe 180 speed, then she's gonna take down the boss. So great skill to have. Revive that ally that is dead. Ally protection, just so he or she does not die again. for 2 turns, and it's great. You can reduce this to 4 turns cooldown. Fantastic skill for support, and also heals all allies by 10% of their max HP at the start of each turn. Also places a 30% increased speed buff on a random ally for 2 turns. So this is every single turn that happens. So heals all allies by 10% of their max HP. So this does not care about Scyld's max HP. Just be careful of that. Also plays a 30% increased speed buff. Yeah, it can be useful. But I mean, if you're using Apothecary, which you should if you're a new player who is basing his progression on this champion, then yeah, you're already gonna have that increased speed buff. So let's look at her masteries, guys. I have her built this way. This is not the ideal way possibly for you, but for me, I find that having that extra 5% chance to stun a target is way better than using War Master. She's there to provide additional support through the stuns. So I think this is way better. You don't need to have a champion with a stun set on. The stun set is difficult to acquire. You need to do a ton of Fire Knight, and Fire Knight is quite difficult for a new player. So instead, you've got Scyl. She's going to be stunning at a 25% chance, even higher if you have the books. But in my opinion, save the books, use them on Razin when and if you do get him. So defensive tree, and then I also went for lasting gifts. Extend the duration of any buff cast by this champion by 1 turn, and this will apply to that ally protection and increase speed. Of course, you could have used this for sniper to increase the duration, to the chance to apply that the speed down, but it will not change the chance to place the stun. So be careful in thinking it. This will be additional to this one, to Fearsome Presence. And also Evil Eye. Evil Eye is great for situations in the dungeons where you need more control. So overall, this is the tree that I wanted to go. If you want to go War Master, guys, I would just go straight War Master, and then also support tree again. She needs that extra bit of accuracy, especially if you're a new player. You won't have it all from the gear. You get that extra bit of accuracy from here. You get Evil Eye, possibly Cycle of Magic, or even Lower of Steel. Depends on what you want to do. The support tree is not going to be that useful. Just the counter attack, or this Cycle of Revenge is not going to be all that useful with the War Master. Instead, yeah, as I said, go War Master and support if you like. Campaign, I don't think you'll be having any problems in the brutal campaign. So let's go over straight to, let's say, 12-3 of Nightmare, and let's put her in there. She does not have elite aura, so who am I gonna use with her? Let's use, are we gonna use a Kale? No, that's gonna be impossible. Okay, let's try the impossible. This lead does not apply here, but are these two champions gonna be able to solo 12-3 and Nightmare? I don't think so, but these are like Apothecary is a champion that everyone needs to have. See, 1 stun only there, so we're gonna have some trouble. Apothecary is possibly gonna die here. Ooh, ton of damage, but he has the heals. So let's see, can we clear 12-3? See all those stuns there? 2 more stuns. Apothecary will heal, but he does have a great deal of speed. He also heals every turn because of Scyld's passive. So see how slow this is, but we keep controlling the waves with that A2 from Scyl. She applied also that decreased speed. A stun again. As I said, guys, look at how important speed is in controlling the waves. This is gonna take a while, so should I skip to the end? Yeah, you get it, guys. She's controlling the waves, and she can possibly help you clear Nightmare. I'm not gonna go through all of Nightmare just to see if she is able to clear the whole thing, but imagine you can go War Master here. This is an example of using War Master. So War Master is gonna give you that percentage damage of the enemy's health. So she's gonna be dealing a ton of damage, so your run will be way faster. You can clear Nightmare, get those shards, get those resources, and possibly get something that's even better. So let's skip this. Don't want to go through the whole thing, but you get how this will go by using Scyl. She's a great crowd controller. So let's go over in the dungeons. We're gonna go through the Dragon's Lair. Dragon's Lair is gonna be the one that everyone's trying to beat for the first time. Dragon 20. Once you start farming Dragon 20, it means you're in the end game. You can start collecting that very important 5-star and 6-star gear with more consistency. You can start doing that from Dragon 13, but when you reach 20, it's more efficient. You don't get any brews. You get more 5-star and 6-star, no 4-star at all, so no wasted energy. So I would use Apothecary again. I would use my Scyl that I just got. Imagine I just got Scyl. I could use a Frozen Banshee there. Frozen Banshee is a fantastic champion. She's a rare. You can find her from a mystery shard. What else would I get? Possibly we can use Stagnite here, but not everyone has Stagnite. Problem with Stagnite, he was a reward during the battle pass, so I'm not going to use him here. And Stagnite. Okay. The important here is to watch the waves and how much crowd control Scyl is going to bring. So look at this, guys. Already 2 stuns. She gets 1 turn before any of the enemies gets any turns. Even if one of my characters dies, I have a revive. Scyl will revive. So I think she's a fantastic champion, but I haven't tested her so far. So this is looking great. And of course, Stagnite plays a big role. Imagine if you don't have Stagnite, you will not have that attack down. But look at this, 1 stun, 2 stuns there. You can go even further with Scyl, possibly using a stun set. But as I said before, stun sets, good stun sets with good amount of speed, like closing into 200 speed with a stun set is, I wouldn't say impossible, but it's very hard for a new player. So look at this. My team is overall very healthy. And I think Scyl plays a very important role because of her crowd control. So look at that. Decreased speed. And also Evil Eye, just extra bit of turn meter reduction. 2 stuns there. And let's see when Cyl's next stun is going to be. Should be now? No, next turn. Oh yeah, I totally forgot that she does not have it booked. So it's every 4 turns, not every 3. The revive with ally protection, protecting the baby. Protecting the baby here is Frozen Banshee. She's gonna be the one killing the dragon, guys. You might think this is funny, but she will be killing the dragon. 2 stuns on very high damaging targets. I'm so overall very happy with Scyl and how much utility she's gonna bring to a team. And you should always think, guys, of champions that we get for free and their uses in all of the areas of the game. So campaign, dungeons, arena, and clan boss. I do think for clan boss she will not be that strong. I'm not going to test her out in the clan boss because of the way that my masteries are, but I do think her kit is more dungeon focused. You can also use it for campaign, but again, I've cleared nightmares, so I don't have an easy way to go through everything and remember the tough fights in nightmare campaign. So here, see, all those poisons are those that are gonna bring down the dragon. We're having a very good time. The reason being is because of Frozen Banshee's poisons. Frozen Banshee wouldn't be here if I didn't have someone to revive. There's not many champions that have revive and stun. Scyl is one of them, and she's available to everyone now. At 180 days login, I think she'll be great. Take her to 60 is my view so far, and there we go. So overall, look at this, 400,000 damage with no War Master, guys. Apothecary has Giant Slayer, so Scyl of Drakes, fantastic deal of damage without even War Master or that AoE. I do think with War Master would have been very beneficial to the team. And maybe if you have it booked, that A2 booked, it will be very beneficial in controlling the waves way more. So 2 chances to stun a target. I mean, there is no way the waves have any say to what you're going to do to them after you stun them. So Ice Golems is going to be the next one. So guys, we're going in now to the Ice Golems 20. I have a team here that's just going to be a utility surrounding Frozen Banshee and Armiger, my go-to guy. He's fantastic champion, but he's not a requirement to take to 60, guys. But if you want him, you won't regret it. So Apothecary there for the support, Scyl for those stuns, the heals, the extra debuffs and buffs to the whole team. We've got additional more utility from Painkeeper, and Frozen Banshee just does poisons and slowly kills off the wave. So let's go in and see what we can do here. So 3 stuns right off the bat. So remember, Painkeeper is also going to be reducing the cooldowns of everyone. So she's going to be great for that. Okay, Armiger getting attacked now. Okay, reduce the cooldowns. We tried to get a stun there. We got very unlucky. So 25% chance times 2 failed. Armiger down again. Oh man, the good thing is we have a revive every 6 turns, so 5 turns when Painkeeper just helps out. Remember guys, these waves are not easy. They're not easy for an account that has no attack down. So even if you have a single target attack down, it's gonna help. It's gonna reduce the pressure of your healer. Your healer is not gonna be required to be healing all the time, like Apothecary will be doing the same single target. So hopefully we got some heals there. I think Apothecary is gonna heal to full. Great. So you see here guys, the problem with not having a fully booked Scyl is that you'll have times when that A2 hits, you don't get the stun. This is where you want to think, okay, should I devote my books on Scyl? The thing is guys, legendary books, especially for a new account, are very hard to get. You can get them from the bosses, the clan bosses. You can get them from events. You can get them from rewards from some of the challenges and daily logins. They're not that easy to get, so you have to use them sparingly and with a good viewpoint on how that legendary skill book is going to affect your whole gameplay. So is the champion going to be useful only for the dungeons? Then I think those legendary skill books are not going to be 100% beneficial to you. A champion like Razin is going to be beneficial everywhere, even the arena. Now that we're going to have the 3v3 coming, you're going to use Razin everywhere. So I think saving those skill books for a Razin is way better than using them for Scyl. So she's still going to be able to use her skills. She's still going to be able to stun. It's just going to be way less often. So this is going very slow. So we're going to skip right to the boss and see what happens. So guys, we reached the boss. The problem here with the boss guys is the ads staying alive for too long. The longer the ads stay alive, the more damage the actual boss does. So either you're gonna have an attack down that's gonna help reduce the impact of the boss on your team, or you're both gonna have an attack down and a way to deal with the ads. Our way to deal with the ads here is Armiger. He's gonna bring that block revive, which is very important. Block revive is gonna help you not have to deal with those ads every 25%. I think that's the number. So every 25%, the boss is gonna revive those ads. So when the ads are revived by the boss, you're gonna have trouble because the boss will be dealing way more damage. By having Armiger there, he's gonna be block reviving those ads. The more chances you have for that block revive to happen at the exact point where it matters, like he needs to land the killing blow for the block revive to happen. We need a block revive now. There we go. Okay, now we have control over the boss and we should be able to get the boss down. Remember guys, that this team is not a fast team, it's a slow team, but it's gonna work out in the end. See that decrease in Terminator by the Armiger. We're gonna get some poisons from Frozen Banshee. There we go guys, the boss is down. 7 minutes, but it was very slow. But you understand, if you're using Scyl, she's there to protect the whole team. You're probably going to be going with a more damaging team. If you want to use something like your Kale in there instead of Frozen Banshee, it's still going to work. Instead of Painkeeper, you can use something else that applies an attack down possibly. But overall, Ice Golems is also a very hard dungeon. Ice Golems 20, you get it down, you move on, and getting close to Arbiter. So guys, let's move on from the dungeons and let's look at arena. So for arena guys, we're just gonna go through versus one team. This is the team. I don't want to use a very strong team. I just want to see how Scyl interacts with this enemy. Oh man, we already have so much more power than them. Okay, we're using this team guys. Scyl there for the stunts. Let's see how those stuns do against this target. We're gonna have one target against us that it's gonna be problematic, and that's Duchess, because she applies an AoE buff to her team that gives a block debuff. So let's see. Scyl, 2 stuns. Okay, that's good. That's on the damage dealing champions. Skullcrown there for just clearing. $5K. We're gonna get a counter there. Not a great deal of damage. We procced unkillable there. Great. Don't think we should have any issues here. Trying to get Skullcrown back up. 2 stuns, which is great. Revive to Skullcrown. Remove some buffs, hopefully. There's 2 revivers in the enemy team, so it's getting crazy, guys. Let's see what Scyl is gonna do. We need those stuns. And there we go. Okay, that's going slowly, but okay, we killed both of the revivers. Now we have control, and this is the fight. Basically, speed is king in the arena, guys. I had the faster arbiter. If he went faster with Duchess and Gorgrab, he might have had a different result here. So Scyl, should you take her to 60? My thoughts, guys, are you should take her to 60 if you're a new player. If you are having trouble with the dungeons, take her to 60. You will not regret it. If you're having trouble in the faction wars, take her. You will not regret it. She's a barbarian. She's gonna have those stuns. Controlling the waves in the faction wars is very important. You don't need speed for the faction wars. You need to go through to the end. You need to be farming those glyphs every single day. So she's gonna be useful there as well. She can be used for the Nightmare campaign. She can be used for the dungeons, but she will not be a priority, in my opinion, if you're mid to end game. The end game, the only priority will be to someone who has a barbarian lacking in his team, and this was the case for me also. To be honest, my barbarians are not that strong, and she's going to be a legendary there with a ton of utility to every single one of the other members and take down that faction wars 21. So guys, thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.